IQ. He understands the sport. He looks at it in a mental sense. He knows what he needs to do.
Yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez.
Terence got a great chance to beat him, man. You know what I mean? Terence can box, Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull.
Lennox Lewis is astounded by Terence Crawford's tough preparation for the Canelo bout. He compliments Crawford's discipline and sharp boxing IQ, stating that when Crawford is focused, he understands exactly how to win. Lewis emphasizes that such preparation demonstrates Crawford's full readiness for the challenge.
Stay at the top and be at the top. He moves very well. He's a very elusive mover, and his work rate is high.
I won't ask you who's going to win the fight because I know it's a question you've probably been asked a million times, but I will ask you, do you think this fight goes the distance, or do you think this fight ends inside the distance?
Interesting.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, Terence Crawford's trainer, has stated that the moment does not overwhelm his boxer. According to Bomac, Terence is under no pressure for this historic fight against Canelo Alvarez. He explained that Crawford has approached this battle with complete attention, viewing it as just another challenge in his illustrious career. Bomac stressed that Crawford understands what needs to be done inside the ring. His preparation has been precise, meticulous, and centered on execution. Crawford is focused on showing himself as the finest pound-for-pound fighter, not on the significance of the occasion. Bomac insists that his fighter, psychologically composed, physically prepared, and strategically positioned to shock the boxing world.
Have a fight rather than maybe boxing them.
No, I don't think there's no pressure on Terence because Terence will fight the way that he's used to fight. So by saying all that stuff that Turkey say or anybody else say, that doesn't bother Terence not one bit. You know, we train for one way, the way we're going to fight, and that's the way we're going to get the job done.
When people talk about this fight and they talk about the outcome of the fight, the sort of narrative online is that, look, Terence was moving up in weight, but we all know Terence can crack. When that fight was made with Errol Spence, it was seen as a 50-50 fight, and in reality what it was one of the most destructive performances I've ever seen. Should fans be surprised if Terence could manage to stop Canelo?
I think that fans are going to be surprised when he dismantled Canelo. You know, the more time goes on, the more time Terence can settle into that weight, the worse it's off for the opponent.
The last one from me, because I know this time is now at that minute as you were talking, so I just had one more question. If he manages to get through Canelo Alvarez, does that cement his place on the Mount Rushmore of boxing?
You just answered the question.
Rhetorical.
Legendary commentator Larry Merchant drew a stunning parallel between major fights in the past and the forthcoming Crawford-Canelo confrontation. Merchant recalled Sugar Ray Leonard's legendary victory over Marvin Hagler, a battle many believed Leonard had little chance of winning. He pointed out that Crawford's circumstance is similar to that era in boxing history. According to Merchant, the equation is quite close. The smaller, faster technician faces a naturally larger, stronger champion. Merchant feels Crawford has the skill, movement, and ring intelligence to outmaneuver Canelo in the same way Leonard did against Hagler. He stated that winning will require precise footwork, timing, and the ability to control the pace of the battle. In Merchant's opinion, the blueprint has already been written in boxing history, and Crawford has the resources to execute it perfectly.
I asked the great Larry Merchant, I said, do you think Terence Crawford has a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez? And Larry said, Jim, did Ray Leonard get an official decision victory over Marvelous Marvin Hagler? And I said, yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And I said, why do you say that? He said, same equation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. Yeah. Over and over and over. He's got to figure the angles and the approaches that will allow him to step in, land to the body, or occasionally upstairs, and then get out. That's what Ray did so effectively against Hagler.
Bozianis, a respected trainer, made a daring statement when discussing the fight. He argued that Canelo Alvarez has previously expressed discontent, particularly in facing slick, mobile fighters. Ennis cautioned that Terence Crawford is the type of boxer that can test Canelo's patience. Crawford, unlike William Skull and other opponents who had the ability to trouble Canelo, is an expert at generating angles, landing clean counters, and forcing his opponents into uncomfortable positions. Ennis feels the winner of this battle will be determined by their ability to impose their rhythm rather than physical strength. If Crawford is successful in thwarting Canelo, it might pave the way for a career-defining victory.
You know that if he can't touch you, you know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean?
Now, did watching that make you feel like Terence Crawford has better than a 50% chance after watching? I know we've seen him against Lara back in the day, but now this is supposed to be a new and improved Canelo.
Yeah. I think, like I said, Terence got a great chance to beat him, man. You know what I mean? Terence can box, Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull. Terence gonna fight you. You know what I mean? He's Terence from the streets, man. You know what I mean? He know what to do. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it. I think he's gonna wind up frustrating Canelo. You know what I mean?
So what's the right way? Because Skull was moving too much. Is as soon as he as soon as you turn him, then is that when you start firing off?
Well, see, the thing is, the right way, the way I would have my fighter doing is I'm boxing him, you know what I mean? And he coming at me, I'm hitting him, pop, 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 pop. And soon he gets set, I'll tie him up. Walking to the center. You know what I mean? We cruise to the ropes and do the same thing. Good. Keep on frustrating, hit with the jab, boom, boom. Keep on moving, but also hitting him though. You know what I mean? And he gets frustrated, then he let his guards down. And it's a good night.
Bernie Thaw, a boxer and another important person in Crawford's camp, sent a severe warning to Canelo. He confidently said that Canelo is a perfect fit for Terence Crawford. According to Bernie, Canelo's approach is powerful, methodical, and somewhat predictable, which complements Crawford's ability to analyze opponents and alter mid-fight. He lauded Crawford's instincts, discipline, and bravery, stating his boxer possesses both the ability and the courage to win. Bernie made it plain that Crawford is not just cunning to compete in a super fight, but to dominate. He emphasized that Crawford knows exactly how to win and is prepared to go through hell to obtain it.
Well, a lot of people are saying about Crawford's age, but, you know, no boxing, no life, as Canelo would say. And Crawford still, you know, in age, but he ain't took no punishment. He's cautious, you know, he works hard throughout these years, so, you know, of course you're gonna, you know, you gotta count that in a factor, but in his heart and his mind and his spirit, he's still youthful about boxing. He loves boxing, and this is one way to get him up. You know, he's a challenge guy. He loves a challenge, and Canelo is the biggest challenge you can get. You know, we got to go up 2 weight classes, really 3 weight classes to get a guy like that. Hardest puncher, great counter puncher, tons of experience, undisputed champion, unified champion, a couple of divisions champion, and so we didn't get the Pacquiao or the Mayweather, but we getting Canelo, and nothing comes easy to Team Crawford, and expect us to look good on the 12th. Expect us to come out victorious September 12th.
Oh, we obviously just saw his fight against Skull, and people didn't obviously enjoy it, the back foot boxing from Skull and whatever, but what fight can fans expect from Bud? Because a lot of people think that it'll be similar to that or the Charlo fight or whatever like that.
The one thing about Crawford is he got guts. Them bums ain't have no guts. Them bums didn't want to win. Crawford want to win. That's it. It ain't about no belt. It ain't about nothing. You didn't sign the contract. We want to win, and he want to be the best, and he is the best. So that's what's going to be the difference. You know, Crawford got guts. He got a fighting spirit. So when you see Crawford, he going to go in there and get busy with Canelo. Don't you even doubt that. You understand? You ain't never seen Crawford stay on the back foot in no fight in his life. You understand? He the type of guy to go get you. So expect him to go get him. We going to do everything we can to him. We going to do whatever we got to do. But one thing you can expect is Crawford is going to step to him. Because you can't beat Canelo going on the back foot forever. You got to go get him. You got to do something. And he better know Crawford is coming.
Crawford's preparation for Canelo has driven him to seek out strong sparring partners who can imitate the Mexican champion's approach. Lester Martinez is one of those names, a fighter with extensive professional experience and impressive skills. Martinez has been testing Crawford in training, applying pressure, strength, and ring craft akin to Canelo's. According to reports, Crawford has looked sharp during these sessions. Sparring with opponents like Martinez allows Crawford to adapt to Martinez's power, while demonstrating his signature counterpunching and precision, ensuring that he enters the ring completely prepared for the size and strength of a super middleweight.
Preparation from sparring, like Terence being with Lester Martinez, he's about as good a concoction you could hope for as a sparring partner. I need a guy who can come forward with good timing, who's sharp, who got good power in both hands. Lester Martinez for Terence Crawford. If you're Canelo, I need a guy that can switch. I need a guy with length. I need a guy with power, with skill. He gets Darrell Valsaint, who's 6'1", 154. He switch hits, southpaw, mostly southpaw like Terence, but can switch. Good long, his arms are almost the exact same length as Terence Crawford. And he's a young 23-year-old, good athlete. And then I don't know if Canelo's sparring with Marco Verde, who won the silver medal for Mexico, but Marco Verde would, again, 5'11", long arms, southpaw, can switch. I would think between Darrell Valsaint and Marco Verde, Canelo's getting awesome preparation. And then Terence with Lester Martinez. This is speculative, but someone did mention it to me on Twitter when I was talking about Canelo preparing with Valsaint. They go, well, Lester Martinez had to go home with migraines and pull out of a fight, and he was sparring with Terence Crawford. So, I mean, it's speculative, but you're like, wow, well, if you put 2 and 2 together, if he was getting migraines for sparring Terence Crawford and had to pull out of a fight because of it, then that must mean Terence Crawford is doing well in the gym.
Analysts everywhere are excited about the stylistic clash that this fight promises. Canelo Alvarez has long been recognized for his slow and devastating approach. He maintains constant pressure, saving energy until he unleashes explosive combinations. His body shots and uppercuts frequently overwhelm opponents. In contrast, Terence Crawford thrives on rhythm, improvisation, and movement. He can switch stances quickly, generate angles with his pivots, and strike with pinpoint accuracy. Experts contend that this conflict is about more than simply power and speed. It's a calculation against creativity. Crawford represents unpredictability and agility, whilst Canelo exemplifies strength and strategy. This style disparity could result in one of the most exciting chess matches in modern boxing.
Predictable. I think Canelo, he likes to go to the same combinations, quite repetitively, whereas Crawford is unpredictable. And despite him not having the size, it's the shots that you don't see that hurt the most. And maybe Crawford can hit him with some unexpected shit. And because of the repetitiveness of Canelo, maybe he can time him. Maybe he can counterpunch with him, because Crawford is unbelievable at that. But I'm fascinated to see if Crawford has the power to get the respect of Canelo Alvarez, because when you don't, it's a long night. It's not nice. Like Crawford did well against Madrimov, and he won that fight for me quite clearly, but Madrimov was countering him. If you can counter the counter puncher, you can give them a lot of problems when they're not used to that. And Canelo can counter people really well. And as great as Terence Crawford is, we've never seen him in there with someone with the power of Canelo Alvarez. This is a different world of power. And look, maybe Canelo doesn't throw as many shots as he used to, and maybe Crawford might look at that and go, you know what, I'm going to try and outpoint this guy, not get into a war with him, but just show my boxing, genius, and outpoint him and outland him. That's possible. It is. This is why this is such a fascinating matchup, man. We've been treated to some amazing fights. Usyk Fury, for example, this is another one of those mega fights on Riyadh season.
For Crawford, winning is not an option. It is a natural instinct. His career has been marked by perseverance and the capacity to rise to the situation. Crawford has pushed his physical boundaries in preparation for Canelo, ensuring that he can maintain intensity during 12 hard rounds. Meanwhile, sources indicate that Canelo has been polishing his tools. The Mexican champion has been training with younger boxers to mimic Crawford's speed, agility, and unpredictability. Both parties recognize the importance of this contest and are searching every possible avenue.
It looked kind of WWE to me, but we know Crawford is coming to try to win. That's his DNA, that's his nature, and I think that's what he will attempt to do. So it will be up to Canelo to show him moving up to this weight class was a mistake. Weight classes exist for a reason. So I really like what I'm seeing. Canelo getting young sparring partners in there. He probably is giving them advice and using them for their energy. It's like 50 Cent said in Hustler's Ambition when he said, I need you to hate so I can use you for your energy, right? He's using these younger fighters because Canelo was once the young, hungry fighter, right? And now he's using these younger fighters and sparring with them and working with them as he prepares for this. Now, I think there is something on the line for both fighters. Canelo Verde payday. You'll want the payday. I know that. And also Terrence Crawford. But this, especially for Canelo Alvarez, he's not going to want to lose this fight because it's a smaller person. I think it'll be more embarrassing.
Former champion Zod Judah heaped admiration on Terrence Crawford. He praised Crawford's sharpness, quickness, and ability to combine power with precision. Judah was convinced that Crawford's speed and accuracy would be enough to put Canelo on the canvas. He described Crawford as one of the rare fighters with both intelligence and natural talent to challenge Alvarez. According to Judah, the fight may not be solely about winning rounds. It could come down to Crawford making a statement knockout.
Let's talk about the fight. What you guys think about the fight? Let's get real.
Crawford in one. No, I'm just playing. Nah, I think Crawford.
You see how you don't believe in Crawford? You don't believe in Crawford in one?
No. Crawford in one? No, hell no. Crawford in one? No.
Okay.
Crawford by decision. I got Crawford by decision.
I got Crawford by decision too. And I got Crawford by I got Crawford by a beatdown. If he do what I think he's gonna do, be smooth early and then step it up 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. By the 9th, 10th round, we might see Canelo go sit down. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If he step it up the way he's supposed to, I think I know he can do. Watch what I say, y'all. Watch what I say.
Yes. Sit down.
Sit down.
By stumblage, like by balance or something like that, by hurt.
Punches putting people down. I have watched what I'm telling you. That boy is strong. He's sharp. Speed.
Derek James, one of boxing's most recognized trainers, warned Canelo Alvarez. James noted that Terrence Crawford is unlike any of Canelo's previous opponents, despite the fact that he has faced powerful hitters and good specialists. Crawford delivers a unique combination of fluidity and explosiveness. According to James, Crawford is tough to time and thrives under pressure, typically performing best in high-stakes situations. He told Canelo to give his all to the bout, stressing that underestimating Crawford would be a fatal error.
I think it's a good fight. I think that it's a great challenge because I think both guys have great attributes, right? That, they do, and I think they have great attributes, and I think that, so we're looking to possibly see a great matchup, a great fight. And one could be an intellectual fight from Crawford, smart, intelligent fight. And I think for, Canelo probably has to be the matador in this one.
He has to be the what?
Matador, yeah.
Matador, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta, basically, let me see, the bull.
The bull.
You gotta be able to be the bull.
Canelo has to be the bull in this one.
You gotta be able, because I think you find somebody faster, more athletic. You gotta put whatever it is that he's doing, he has to be better at that than he is at any other night in his life.
But the big talk here, and the thing that I always go back to, is just the weight class. Crawford's going up 3 weight classes. The last time he fought, went up on weight, fought Madrimov. You say you don't watch boxing, but he got, a lot of people. Madrimov.
Oh, yeah, I saw that
yeah,
fight.
154.
I saw that fight.
Yaron Boots, a rising star, Ennis commented on the battle, calling it a real 50-50th fight, and he lauded Canelo's experience, stature, and demonstrated supremacy in the upper weight classes, but he also praised Crawford's unrivaled skill set, adaptability, and mental tenacity. According to Ennis, this bout is uncertain because both guys have means to neutralize one another. He stated that spectators should expect a competitive match in which every round counts and either guy might win.
50-50 fight, and I guess it's a fight that everybody wants to see, so, it's a good fight.
How difficult is it to make that jump from, he only had one fight at 54, so 147, 154 to 168 pounds?
You said how difficult is it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a little difficult because we gonna have to put on like an extra 14 pounds, so he might be a little slower. Or who knows, he could be faster. I don't know. Like you gotta add more weight and gain more muscle and stuff like that. Moving up in weight, things like that. So it's a little harder, but I don't know. We'll see on fight night how he'll look.
What does Terrence Crawford have to do to be successful in that fight?
Be smart. Take his time. Box and move. Yeah, don't sit there and let him try to bomb on him.
What about Canelo Alvarez?
I feel like Canelo gonna have to press him, had to press him. Everything behind the stick, and catch him, try and pull out, pull back, anything, you know, cutting the ring off, things like that.
Is it one of those situations where you try to punch on like the smaller man's like arms?
You gonna have to bully him. You gonna have to bully the smaller guy.
Daniel Jacobs, a former middleweight champion who has fought Canelo Alvarez, provided an informed perspective. Jacobs stated that, while Canelo is a top fighter, Crawford has demonstrated in training that he has the dedication and sharpness required to compete at this level. He urged that Crawford apply pressure at times to test Canelo's stamina and work rate. Jacobs acknowledged the enormity of the assignment, but he remains confident that Crawford has a legitimate chance. After witnessing Crawford's training intensity firsthand, Jacobs feels the Omaha-born champion can rise to the occasion and potentially shock the world.
Canelo Alvarez, and since then, obviously, naturally, he's slightly declined.
Yeah.
Do you see this decline that people talk about?
Well, I can see in increments because Canelo, which I've always said is an amazing legendary fighter, but he fights in spurts. So sometimes it takes for the opponent to actually initialize him giving the best. When he was faced with me, the opposition that I had and what I was giving him, it was just a lot, whether it was boxing, whether it was coming forward, but most importantly, it was the punches and bunches. And so he was forced to either stand there, wait for the right time, or be combative and go back at it. So I think that's what Crawford may have to do. Push the pressure, make Canelo fight, or maybe just play it safe, win on points, you know?
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned.